in case you will use the promo code USCAE1, and this promo code will be valid until October 31st. So still quite plenty of time left. And we have the first question here, so congratulations, and I will just answer this right away. Love how you HomeKit market in action constantly. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, we keep supporting the HomeKit products, and at some point next year we will finally have all of our products compatible with HomeKit. So let's stay tuned here. Okay, but apart from HomeKit, we try to to support much more systems, and next year will be a huge step forward. Of course, you have heard about it, I think. So it's about Matter, all of biggest players of the smart home market. And as we had already announced before, two of our newest hubs, which are M2 and M1S hub, will support Matter next year. So once again, stay tuned. Of course, it doesn't depend on us so much because this is a big project developed by Matter is something like HomeKit for everyone, not just for Apple ecosystem users, but for all of other users as well. Okay, so the second deal I would like to cover about Amazon. So first about deals, and later about the main topics of this stream, right? So the second one, door window sensor, also 7 days deal. This is Amazon US, right? So door window sensor will get 15% off as well. So just check. Check our Amazon brand store from Aqara. And one more deal is about water leak sensor. Water leak sensor, it's here as well, so you can check the brand store from Amazon so that you can probably consider purchasing this sensor. So anyways, we get the newest product, which is E1 Hub. Using E1 Hub, you can connect all of our child devices which are using Zigbee protocol to your smart home setup, no matter which system they use, like HomeKit or Alexa or Google IFTTT, some other systems from different regions. Anyways, this is our affordable hub, and now you don't have to pay the full price of M1S and M2, but the difference here is that, of course, E1 Hub it doesn't have the additional functions. The only additional function of E1 Hub is a Wi-Fi repeater for up to 2 devices, which is not a big deal actually. Yeah, but anyways, it's most affordable. So it doesn't have the infrared controller from the Aqara Hub M2, and it doesn't have the siren, the bulb, this one. Okay, I don't know, not this one. This colored RGB night light and the speaker, which can use as a siren of M1S hub. But still, this is the very fully functional Aqara hub for Aqara devices, up to 128 devices. Okay, this is our new product. And okay, check in your channels in different countries, Amazon's or other channels which are mentioned on our where to buy page. Okay, and now we'll switch to some other topic, right? So second topic I wanted to discuss is obviously the Google announcement. So last week, Google had a really incredible smart home summit. They rebranded the Google Home platform, and there are several really important news. So the first one is that Google Home platform will finally support the automations. So not just these 2 pre-configured automations which are geofencing based, but also the automations which can be configured by the manufacturers. And of course, we will try to use this opportunity as well. And I think this means that Google very soon will support much more of Aqara devices. Yeah, it does have the ground behind it because Google supports Matter, supports all the new standards. So our devices, which will be connected to our newest hubs, M2 and M1S, will also be supported by the system once Google will get the support. And also routines, finally, because for all of these many years, almost 10 years, how many years? Almost 10 years, Google didn't have any kind of automations, just the voice-triggered routines in Google Assistant. But now we'll get it, which is a big step forward. I can say that Google is now finally back in the race of automations and will let the users at least to use the automations which are pre-configured and DIY users, I think. So this is the first news here. And the second one is that the overall onboarding process and the operation process in Matter will be something people really like. HomeKit for. So actually, all of the local framework and all of the onboarding process, so adding the device, will look very similar to the device adding process in HomeKit right now. So this is a big step forward as well. So finally, 99% of users which do have Android phones, like me, for example, I don't have iPhone by myself. So I prefer Android, no problem. So many people do prefer as well. Finally, they will get the same local and powerful functionality here. Okay, so we have some more questions right here. Let me answer them. Hello, will it fix the bug Zigbee sensors when any sensor can? Oh, okay, yeah, I know this bug. Of course, we did discuss it a lot. This is a problem. Okay, we are open to share our thoughts about this kind of problem, and of course, it will be fixed. So unfortunately, not for all of Aqara devices, but for at least for the more or less newest devices, it will be fixed, and we are working on it. So don't worry. We do understand this problem, and we understand these users are also concerned. I have seen all of the videos and proofs about this, and we will raise this question on very high level here. And as soon as possible, we will get the solution. So stay tuned. Okay, this is the first question here. When will Aqara arrive to Spain? I would like to help the brand here in Spain. Okay, for the Spain, right now you already can use the Amazon to deliver it to Spain, but Amazon Spain will be on our way, so I'm not sure how fast, but we'll update you later. And apart from the Amazon, we'll have some more channels in the future as well. So next year for sure. So stay tuned. Once again, our where to buy page, we will update it more frequently, I hope. So as a result, we will get more channels visible for you so that you can get our official devices, which will support all the newest platforms, all the local platforms such as Google Alexa, because our global versions of devices that do support Alexa and Google, and of course we'll support Matter as well next year once it's ready. Okay, so these kind of questions are ready here. So once again about the Google Smart Home Summit, and what is more important, not more important, but what is also important is that we were mentioned on this Smart Home Summit as one of Google's partners, and it's true, right? So we are one of these companies which do cooperate with Google about the Matter deployment next year. So Google does invest a lot into the new smart home standards, and we will be one of the early partners of Google in this sphere. This is amazing, I think. So please stay tuned. Next year we'll have many updates about this. So I'm really excited about it. And I'm sure you will be excited as well. Okay, so this is about the Google Summit last week. Okay, and the second, okay, once again, please don't hesitate to ask us any kind of questions in the comments of our videos. Okay, and I will answer them in this live stream. Okay, what about the E1 Hub? Once again, really fast, new product. It doesn't have so many selling points, of course, because this is basically a more affordable version of our existing hubs. But actually, what is sometimes funny, this is one of our most powerful hubs right now. So I think this is a good option for those who do have a car hub before. So what is very important, some time ago, like 1 or 2 weeks ago, depends on the user, we did update our classic Aqara hub, which looks like this like M1S hub, to support all of our newest devices. For example, the wireless switch H1, which is here, like RollShare driver E1, the switches H1 EU, and some other devices as well. So now our older device does get support of our newer, older hub will get support of the newest devices, which is our commitment. In the future, we will extend the life cycle of our products even more. But right now, yeah, all of the devices up to the end of this year will be supported by Aqara Hub, but you should understand this is a bit of old kind of structure and solution. So in the future, of course, we will have to switch to the new architecture, and E1 will be one of these new architecture hubs, and E1 will get all the newest support for much longer time. So this is a good option for those who didn't get, who is thinking about getting more new devices next year, for example, and yeah. This is why it's worth mentioning as well. Okay, 2 more questions here. When we'll be able to get your products in Mexico? Okay, actually, I'm not sure about this, but let us check about Mexico. So I haven't heard about any like specific plans, but at some point we certainly will come because Mexico is a big market. Yeah, so looking forward for this. And one more question here. Well, Aqara forums come back. Oh, Aqara forums. Actually, I was responsible for development of the forums before, but unfortunately, because of the lack of resources, we did shut the forums down. But at the same time, we do have really amazing subreddit on reddit.com. Yeah, in this subreddit, we have amazing users who always reply to all the questions, and we do make some comebacks there as well. For example, in case we do see that some of our announcements are not there, we just do post from our official account, which is called Andrew from Aqara, on reddit.com in Aqara subreddit or HomeKit subreddit, so that everybody could see. So just feel free to use Reddit for now. So I don't think it's a big disadvantage compared to the separate Aqara forum, because like to maintain this kind of forum takes time. So we don't want to make this forum like abandoned, because when you end up with having like many live threads, you do have to have much more stuff to maintain it. So we decided that the best way is organic Reddit subreddit, Reddit forum, so that you can use it without any problems there. So we are there, we are checking the messages. So if some thread does get a bit like quite high in terms of how hot it is in terms of Reddit, we do notice it and we do communicate. Okay, some more question, let me answer. Great products, regards. Thank you so much, really. So we do know about some problems you also mentioned, but we are constantly working on improving the products, and we do have a really big list. Next time, I think during the stream, I will announce some of the improvements of our software and products as well. We do keep supporting them and do keep improving them as well. Okay, so about the E1 hub, I didn't finish yet. From our side, E1 is a good solution for those who did have a Aqara hub before, for example, and do want to guarantee that the future Zigbee devices will be supported. Okay, just in case it does not support Thread, of course, we cannot, just to explain this point, like we cannot support both protocols at the same time, because each of our hubs does have only one chip. So, but for our Zigbee devices, and we will keep launching Zigbee devices next year, so without any problems. So these devices will be supported by E1 Hub as well. So one part for those who did have a Aqara hub before, so want to extend the network or to get a newer device support, or for someone who just joins the Aqara ecosystem, also a good solution, because this solution is much more affordable. So this is a good point, right? Okay, so the next point, okay, what is interesting compared to the previous Aqara hub, what is good here is that for those who use HomeKit, it does include the security system inside the HomeKit home app. So let me check it, for example, like this. Okay, updating somehow. So I'm not sure if it's visible for you, but let me maybe switch to another home of our home app here, so that you can see the security system here. Okay, this kind of security system, I'm not sure it's visible. So in HomeKit, the security system has 4 modes, which are, okay, once again, I'll explain this. Home, away, night, and off. And before, Aqara hub did only support 2 modes, so off and away, so which is not enough. Of course, like out-of-the-box HomeKit system does support 4 modes, and E1 is one of our hubs that does support the system for HomeKit users. This is quite a good selling point, I think, so feel free to check this out. Okay, and the last one, yeah, it's very compact, so that you can place it somewhere. Let me just show you this interesting thing. For example, we have M2 hub, right? So we do have USB-A here, so you can even place it here. So it can be M2 hub, which doesn't make much sense, right? So it can be a router, it can be a TV, something like this. So really versatile in terms of hiding it somewhere and making it invisible completely here. So I think this is also a small selling point of this really compact but powerful Zigbee hub for Aqara devices. Okay, I think I'm done with the E1 Hub selling points and stuff. And next point is about one of our most important products. These products are called, of course, wall switches. Okay, sorry, I'll just get a bit. And currently, for the majority of our markets, we do have two up-to-date models of our wall switches. Of course, wall switches are built to control the lights. So these are the most important products for us in terms of controlling the lights. And we do have two main versions. So one version is H1EU for Europe. This is the US one. And the previous one is the US version, Aqara wall switch US, which is sold on Amazon US for now. In the future, I hope much more products, much more channels. Okay, both of them are Zigbee 3.0, which is the latest version for protocol here. So, okay, and this one came out just this year. Okay, H1EU was released this year and already sold in many countries in Europe, Russia, and some other regions such as Southeast Asia as well. So I'll explain a bit more about them. We did already touch the selling points of the switches before, so I think no need to repeat. But we do have some of new things to explain. But first, let me answer two of more questions. What is the difference between the M2, M2 2022? I'll explain briefly. So 22 is the new version of M2 Hub for China. It will not be sold on the global market, so don't worry. Basically, there is almost no difference, just different kind of components are used inside the M222 version. And in the future, we'll have some much more interesting announcements, which are certainly much better than the M2 2022. So stay tuned next year on our live stream, social media, and so on. So I will not disclose all the details, of course, it's just too early, but I think majority of users will be really happy to see what we are preparing for them. Okay, and when will locks get the Apple Home Key update? So unfortunately, Apple Home Key update will not cannot be realized in the locks which are now on the market. Only one lock is now officially on the market, global market, I mean. So this is N100, only a few regions such as Russia and Southeast Asia. So unfortunately cannot, but later this year and the beginning of next year, we'll have some more locks on these markets which do support Apple Home Key feature. But basically, like, why I don't like the fingerprint? I mean, so it's just easier to open it with fingerprint. This is my opinion, personal opinion. Of course, I see that some people like the NFC thing, but anyways, I don't think it's a big disappointment. But in the Euro lock, we will have this function. So Apple Home Key coming in our future products. Okay, as for the switches, let's get back to the switches. Once again, feel free to ask the questions in the comments. We do have two switches. They're quite powerful, so they use our latest chips, latest tech. And now I will explain some little point, because we do know that in some of the channels we did encounter shortage of the some of the models of the switches. So here we have two with neutral wall switches, double rocker. So what does it mean? It does mean that inside it has two channels to control. So it can control two lights. But I would like to explain you that actually, even if you only have one light at home, for example, just one lamp in your kitchen, let's say, in this case, a two-button wall switch is also a good solution for you. And here I will explain why. Because recently we did get a new feature for this US switch, and now they are on par in this regard. So this feature is called Convert to Wireless Switch. We did implement it some time ago, but it did have a bit of a bug. So it was not available for automations to control some other devices, such as hub, for example, roller shade or something like this, when you press the button of the switch without turning on and off the light. And now we finally get the switcher for both of them. So now I can say that they can be used without any restrictions, and I will show you how it works. Okay, so let's say you are thinking you have only one light, so maybe just to get a one button switch. And we are saying that actually, you can just choose two-button wall switch and use the second button as a wireless switch. In this case, you will only pay a bit more, for example, $4 more, depends on the region, right? But in this case, you will get a wireless switch absolutely for free, and you will not have to charge any kind of batteries like this one. Of course, the H1 wireless switch does have 5-year battery, but also it's also a battery, so you will have to change it someday. But in case of wall switch, you will not have to change the battery anytime soon, anytime in the future. So because it's quite reliable, I can say. Okay, so the idea is like this. One channel, for example, this button does control the actual light. Okay, oh, sorry. Okay, this button, it has the LED here, so maybe you cannot see, I'm not sure. This button controls the light, let's say. So I okay, I press the button. It does make this kind of click sound. Yeah, we have a video on YouTube which is called like Aqara wall switch H1EU is so clicky, you can check it. Okay, so this, let's say this bulb is controlled wired to this wall switch. So this button does click and control this light. So control, it turns off. So this is how it works. At the same time, we have the second. So if you click it many times, you will hear this noise. This means that this switch does physically turn on and off the relay inside it. At the same time, we have the second button, which is working in the wireless switch mode. So this button does not control any light which is wired to our wall switch, and it doesn't click. Why? Because it is unbound from the relay inside the switch. So let's say, okay, so I'm pressing the button, there is no click like the relay inside the switch. So which means it is already in the wireless switch mode, and I will show you how it works. So here in Aqara Home app, we have many devices, and in the device list, I'm not sure it's visible or not. I do choose the smart wall switch, for example, this. Okay, this is the US wall switch. Let me choose the EU wall switch. Okay, H1 EU with neutral here. So I chose it. Later I go to settings, press more settings, and here we have a function which is called convert to wireless switch. Convert to wireless switch, you can choose which button to convert to wireless switch. So you can choose button 1 or button 2. In my case, button 2 is converted to wireless switch, which means that when I press this button, it does not control the actual relay or the actual light. It does control something else. And in automations of Aqara Home app, you can choose what to control. Let's try it. In my case, it is bound to this hub, N1S, and it has the LED night light, colorful night light, so that it does turn it on and off. So let's try it very easily. So it turns on, yeah, blue light, presses, turns off. You can control whatever. You can make the camera to start recording by pressing this button. You can use the security system like to arm or disarm. Let's try it here. Okay. No, this is the light. Yeah. Okay. This button is unbound. This button is in the wireless switch mode. I press this button, and our hub, let's say, is now armed. Press again. It is, let's say, disarmed. Yeah. The same here. Yeah. So one button is here. It controls the light here immediately, right? So this is electrical control of a real light which is wired to the switch. Like this, yeah. Turn on, turn off, very fast, because this is, of course, no radio transmissions here. So at the same time, the second button is controlling this hub. So it's not wired, of course. It's a wireless control over ZigBee. This button is not bound to the actual relay inside the switch. So I press it, and now we have like arm. Okay, I press this one, it turns off. I press this one, it is now disarmed and stuff like this. So you can configure in our automations, no problem. So you can configure any kind of action for this second button, which is not wired. So let me answer the questions first, and I'll just conclude on this. So first conclusion, okay? In case you buy a switch of 2 channels without having these 2 channels at home, you can just wire one channel and use the second button as a wireless switch, which is quite a unique function. Not every of our competing switches does have this function, and this is amazing. The only limitation is that the second button cannot be exposed to HomeKit as a wireless switch. So Yeah, but in the future we'll have some updates on this, so stay tuned again. Once again, no worries, you just can buy a more convenient 2-button double rocker, wall switch, even in case you have only one channel to control. So this is how it works, once again. I press it on and off, yeah, or I can configure some ringtones such as army security system, whatever. Okay, this one. Okay, I turn out the light. So it does not click with the relay because it's not connected to the relay. Turn it on and off. Use it. Okay, use it as in automations as a wireless switch. And here, once again, last time. Okay, so this one controls the actual light wired to this switch, and the second one is not wired. It does not control any light except for the wireless control via automations. I press the button and our hub turns on and off the light and makes a ringtone. Up to you. You can configure it as you wish. Okay, and now let me answer your questions here. When the problem with losing connections, TVOC, okay, we do know that this problem, so it's getting solved. We raised all of our prodigal team forces to lose this problem, and I hope really soon. I think until the end of October it can be solved. But let's stay tuned about this. Of course, we know that some of the users do have problems with TVOC, but except for TVOC, other products are more stable, and we will solve the issues of TVOC. Anyways, TVOC air quality monitor is our first air quality monitoring device. And maybe there could be some problems at the very beginning, but in the future, of course, we are learning and will improve this kind of problems. Solve as many problems as possible. Okay, next, I like the new studio. Looks much. Yes, so this is our new creature. Let's say this is a demo box. So I hope in the future you will be able to see this in some of our retail stores, so that you can try more and more Aqara products in the future, including the new ones as well. So yeah, I think you like it. It looks so stylish actually, so I like it as well. Thank you. Why won't you make weatherproof enclosures for the Aqara sensor we can use it outside? Yeah, so this is really good suggestion. Thank you so much. Now we are thinking about something like this, but right now we do have a lot of DIY modes, so a lot of users just make the cases by themselves, for example, using the 3D printers or some kind of bags bought on Amazon or somewhere else. You can check some posts on Reddit, for example, Aqara sensor waterproof, something like this. And you can also check our weather usage conditions, for example, for the temperature humidity sensor. In case it is not exposed to the direct rain or water is not falling on it, in case the humidity is up to 95%, in this case it can be used outdoors as well. We do not claim it's an outdoor product, but we do know many of our users do use it outdoors, including myself. So you will get a weather station here. In the future, we'll think how to improve the sensors, and in the future, how to make a sensor that will be outdoor rated from the box. But for now, just no problems. You can check more user reports and check how it can be used outdoors for temperature humidity sensor, for example. So don't worry, we are thinking about this, and outdoor is a big topic for us, and in the future we will be in. But unfortunately, no ETA yet, so stay tuned again. Okay, so that was something about the convert to wireless switch, and that you can actually buy the double rocker switch to control only one light. Use the second button. Okay, one light. Second button to control some devices over automations, as you wish, right? And there are some other improvements in our switches compared to the older switches, for example, and some of our competitors. Let me explain some of them. Okay. Wall switches, of course, they all have the Zigbee repeaters in case this is in with-neutral version, because with-neutral version is hardwired. It does get enough power from the line so that it can also retranslate the signals from, for example, the sensors to the hub in case the hub is too far away from the sensor or other child device. At the same time, it does have this HomeKit support, all of them, of course. It's also supported by all of the other ecosystems which we support, for example, Alexa, Amazon Alexa, or Google Assistant, or FTTT, or some other voice assistants. At the same time, our, for example, H1AU switch does have like the latest and the most expensive build from the line. So this is the same build as the Chinese H1 Pro switch. So this is the flagship product for us. At the same time, it is more affordable than some of our really big competitors, such as Legrand, for example. Okay, so US switch is a bit more affordable here, but at the same time, it shares the same Zigbee 3.0 architecture from the point of hardware. Yeah. What else? And here we do have some extra features, except for the convert to wireless switch function. So what other features do we have? For example, safe power off state. Let me explain this. I will not showcase it because I don't want to unplug this big demo box right here, but we have this feature, and we know that by some of our competitors, the absence of these features really annoys the users so much. So what does it mean? Safe power off state. It means that, for example, you are sleeping, your light is off. Okay, let's make it here, right? So your light is off, you are sleeping, so you have nice dreams, and suddenly, in some cases it happens, there is a power outage. So there is no electricity in your house, so that all of the devices are getting off, including your smart wall switch, because it doesn't have the battery, right? In this case, some of our competitors, when the electricity comes back again, they just turn on the light so that everybody gets out of their dream. Yeah. So the light turns on, and I think it's so like embarrassing, right? So in our case, in the settings of Aqara Home app, we do have this function. This function is called power off memory. In this case, when it turns on, in this case, when your switch was off, you turn off the light, you turn off electricity, it goes back on, and the light does not turn on, which is important, right? So we did solve this problem for all of our switches. Now all of them do support this function, and I think this is quite useful for all of the users, so it doesn't trouble them at all. So both of them, H1AU and wall switch US on Zigbee 3.0, they do support safe power off state or power off memory. Okay, now it's time to answer some more questions, yeah? Me encanta esta marca, sus productos de excelente calidad. Gracias, República Dominicana. Okay, thank you for your attention from our Latin American friends. No problem, I can speak Spanish if you can say. Okay, thank you for the translation to my colleagues. Okay, yeah, I hope we'll have Spanish language in the app quite soon. I don't have the ETA yet, but yeah, dale. Okay, in this case, all of our friends from the really big Latin America and Spain will be able to enjoy our products in their native language. So we will push it, and we will get this support sometime in the future. So once again, stay tuned. Okay, not so many questions right now. So once again, feel free to ask the questions in comments. We don't have much time left here. And I will finish about some of the features of our wall switches. Okay, so what else do we have? For EU wall switch, we do have a function which was requested a lot by our fans, because we didn't know that actually many people do prefer really different styles of the LED indicator here. So before, the switch only had the one setting. The one setting was when the light is on, the indicator, this small LED here, is on as well, which indicates that the switch is on. But for many of our users, it appeared that it's very important to have the opposite kind of state of LED indicator. For example, when it's dark, you can see the wall switch, the LED indicator is on so that you can find the switch and press the button. In case it turns on, the LED indicator gets off so that you can see that the switch is on as well, so that yeah, you don't have to bother about this. So since the wall switch EU and in all of our future switches, we will have this function so that you can configure and choose out of 3 states for with neutral version. So one state is when the LED indicator is always off. Second state is it's on when the switch is on, and third state, that the indicator is off when the switch is on, so that we can fit the majority of needs of our users. But the only limitation here is that for our non-neutral wall switch, we don't have all of these three options. We cannot make the LED indicator on when the switch is off because of the limitations of non-neutral technology, unfortunately. We'll think how to solve it. We do know that some of the users do need it here. So hopefully in the future we can get this function work with non-neutral switches, but for now, unfortunately not. So if you want all of these three states, in this case, you should get a with neutral version. Overall, I can say that with neutral is more functional version which doesn't have so many limitations. So we always suggested to buy the more advanced version, which is with neutral, especially as with neutral version that is a bit cheaper than no-neutral version. But in case of no-neutral version, you don't have so many choices on the market, so Aqara may be even stronger here, like usually, yeah? Okay, that was everything I think about the switches. So about this convert to wireless switch function, which is quite important for many users and one of my favorite ones, to control security system, control some other lights or controllers using the second button of the switch without having to wire it up. This is something quite unique, I think, so I hope you like it as well. Now comes the last chance for today to make me answer your questions here. Yeah. After that, unfortunately, we will finish the stream and see you again only in about 1 month. So, okay, what I can say? Okay, hello from Aqara, Ukraine. Okay, yeah, I hope we'll really develop the Ukrainian market for our company much more. So for now, it's just in the very beginning. So I really hope it will grow very fast, really soon, because we do have a lot of Ukrainian users who want more products to be available in Ukraine. So some time ago, one user just was asking me like how to get the official version. So he didn't want to buy the Chinese versions of the devices. He did want to get all of our perks, which do come with our official global versions. For example, the support of Google Assistant, support of many other things, and official like the fastest connection due to the local servers which are located in Europe or Russia. You can choose, of course. So yeah, Ukraine will be, I think, I hope will be the next big market for us. Okay, one more question. Okay, even more than one more question. Okay, hello. Okay, so Leggy, okay, sorry for this. So we'll try to solve it next time. Which Aqara headquarters? So our main headquarters in Shenzhen, China. So this kind of high-tech capital of China. Okay, great, love the new switches. Okay, thanks. Hope you will. Okay, you will be able to test them more, and in the future we will have even more in terms of switches. So stay tuned again. And one more question, which will be, I think, the last one. When is Shay controller available in the USA? Unfortunately, yeah. It's a hard question. Right now, we don't have any ETA yet. Unfortunately, we really say sorry to all the North American users for this kind of situation. The RollerShed driver, we do sell it in Europe already, and we cannot sell it in the US yet. So we'll try to work on some solution to make it available for US users as soon as possible, but I'm not sure how fast it will happen yet. But anyways, you can see that US market is also important for us, and we are looking forward for more kind of controllers for US market. We'll do everything which depends on us to get more products for the North American market, especially as it's so big and we have so many users from there as well. Okay, thank you for the latest questions. We'll try to improve our product portfolio and availability in many other countries. We do know that now it's really far from being really widely available for many of our products here. So just looking forward into the future. And thank you for being with us today. I hope that was interesting for you. So keep asking questions in the future. Keep using our social networks, our Reddit, and other platforms where we are available, so that we can just answer your questions and keep having the direct contact with you, with our users. Okay, and one little more announcement, which maybe you have missed. Some days ago, we did have some new campaign for a single single switch module T1, which is now sold in Europe and Russia and other regions. So just check it out. We are suggesting you to generate the user content about the use cases of this product so that you can get some really amazing prizes, the products of Aqara of your choice, for free, of course. 5 people will get different sets of Aqara products if you record this kind of videos. So you can now rush a bit to make this kind of content. How do you use single switch module T1 if you get one, of course, or you can get it now. Okay, one more question here. Thank you. So Adrian, thank you as well. I remember you. In the future, we'll have more beta tests, of course. We'll have more like user surveys and so on. So stay tuned for our social media mostly, and not only them, Reddit as well. Thank you. Okay, one more is coming. Yeah, last one, I think. I love Aqara products. Thank you so much. We also love Aqara products. Then honestly, I like them. I have so many of them. Thank you. Okay, see you next time. Adios to those who speak Spanish.